training versus working out or training versus exercise.
All right, I have something to add right away.
Hmm.
My sensei used to say to us that we study karate. So he made a distinction between training and studying. And so he would ask people, when did you start training? And then he kind of made that distinction of when did you start studying karate? That we really study karate, and so that incorporates training. Training is just a
Yes.
part of your study, and so I kind of myself, everything I do, I study. Even like when I decided to start fishing, I bought all the books and I watched the,
Yep.
so that's my approach to everything, and it's my approach to teaching as well. I teach students. I teach people how to study. Not everybody does that or knows how to do that or is that or their approach. Some people
Yes.
come in just thinking that they're coming for a workout. Little do they know.
Right.
Little do they know. And it's intriguing. And then that's for a lifetime. If you study something, you're never done. You never know. It's always a process. And training is just one part of that, like physical training.
Exactly.
So I guess that's why I keep on doing all my stuff. So everything, honestly, everything's an extension of the martial arts for me, even my Pilates. And so one thing
Yeah.
just leads to the next, takes you down that avenue and that avenue. And so it's all just studying, I think.
It's interesting that you say that too, because I know that for times for me too, because I was a personal trainer first, I was a sport conditioning guy first, and then founded Pilates. I almost identify more as a conditioning coach that has Pilates than, you know what I'm saying? Like that's
Yes,
like your
that's
my
kind of what
middle
I'm saying.
ground, right? Like
You study
yeah,
training, like you study conditioning, and Pilates is a piece of that. You're
a piece of
lifelong,
that.
it's a piece of that.
Right,
Hmm.
exactly. And we've said that with Pilates, just with fitness in general, like it's just one silo or just one bucket in this kind of big thing called movement, right? Like so
Hmm.
it's so funny how we can attach our identity to one piece of what we do.
Hmm.
Yeah. So yeah.
I don't tend to do that. I tend to kind of, yeah, I don't really identify myself as, oh, I'm a Pilates teacher or I'm a karate teacher or I'm a boxer or, when I'm doing those things, I put on that hat. But the
Put that
more
hat on.
the older I get, the more I see how interrelated everything is. And now I have students that I teach both things, and it's so cool because we have more language. And so the more
Yes.
you study, the more I study, the more language I have to communicate whatever it is I'm here teaching, which is something definitely
Yes.
beyond exercise. And so my message, I just have more language, more ways, more positions, more ways for you to feel it, hear it,
Yes.
see it, think it. That
Yes.
makes sense?
Absolutely. Yeah. And
Yeah.
and like one of the things we've talked about in the past is the joy of movement. And I had like my son's basketball team last night. So I have his age and three, so basically three teams, and I had them doing some exercises, and we're getting into season now. So coach is like, well, let's just do some core work with them, and and some like first step quickness stuff. So no like hardcore anaerobic work. Let's because we're now in season. So yeah, so I didn't tell anyone, hey, we're doing Pilates today, but I took them through like a lot of our Pilates stuff, and then plus
Right.
some like first step quickness stuff. And it was so fun, Marianne. And I had like a long day, and this practice started at 9:30 last night. And I started my day at 5 o'clock in the morning, right? So
Hmm.
I'm sitting there doing this and enjoying working with these guys and thinking to myself, this is super fun. And the thing that we do that brings us joy when it's the last client of the day, when it's something that, you know what I mean? Like those are the ways that I gauge for myself if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
For sure. For sure. Your
You know?
experience, your experience and communicating your essence to that person, and are you always doing that? And it's important. I think I hear a lot of people, especially moms and people that have busy lives, finding it challenging to keep themselves, full and energetic and well, to be that well, to be the well. So how do they keep
Yes.
on replenishing them? And I feel like at this stage of my life, I'm pretty good at that. I'm that pretty well mastered, maybe
Yes.
I don't know why, but I feel that I know when to rest and I know when to work. And so
Hmm.
I always have a lot. It could be 10 o'clock like you said, it could be 10 o'clock at night. And, I'm there for you. And I think that that's
Yes.
important. And I think a lot of people come here looking for that. They want to be
That
seen and
energy.
heard. Yeah. And connect and have the connection be a real part of that. That's one thing I think people are attracted to Pilates for, because you do have that connection. It is a little
Yes.
different. It is a little different. It's
Hmm.
not like, yeah, I go over there, work,
Right.
and,
Exactly.
you know, it's way more interactive, and you're connected with the teacher a lot more, I think.
Yes, exactly. So then what's your like how do you actually respond to that if someone that comes to you with that situation of like I just need more energy and I'm like cool, like what is your actual answer for them?
Oh, what do you mean if someone comes in like with their Orange Theory towel and their water bottle and they're like they come in like with that kind of like, no,
Right.
no, I'm cool with it because that was me. I walked into the
Yeah.
Pilates studio, from the gym, like from the boxing gym, like, let's go, let's
Yeah.
go. So I walked in like that, and my teacher, he never made me wrong. So I definitely don't go there, and try telling people, oh, this is not that. I just do my thing. And
Hmm.
they realize after the first or second lesson, maybe they don't need their water bottle and their towel, and they 90% of the people that come stay, and then there's other people that it's not a match for. I tell people that if you're looking for this type of loud music and you want to tune out type of workout, that's not Pilates. Pilates
Yeah.
is a tune in. I'm going to be with myself. I'm going to listen
Right.
to my body,
It's a
and so
tune
that,
in.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
Pilates is for people that want to tune in and connect with themselves. And there's validity in both workouts. I like to go pound the bag and put the music
Hmm.
on as well. So whatever. But this is not
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
And I'm very clear about what we do. There's no music, there's no mirrors. This is what we're doing. I hope you like it. you know. But
Yes.
I don't
Yeah.
definitely don't make them wrong for that. I just say, hey, if you want to try this on, I do. Everyone that comes in does 3 privates to start, with no exceptions,
Yeah.
unless they're a
That's
teacher.
right.
And even then, I encourage them to do that so
It's like
we can get to know each
maybe
other.
one and a half. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Just a buffer to get to know a person so that they can understand what I do here. And if it's for you, it's for you. And if it's not, that's okay.
Yeah.
Go find the right teacher for you.
Yeah.
I don't want to make you like what I like. I don't want to make you like, I don't know, if you, whatever, vegetables, whatever you don't like. I don't want to, you have to eat Brussels sprouts. They're
Right.
awesome.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
love Brussels.
That's what Jamie was saying that. I do too. Jamie was saying it the other day too. Like take no prisoners, right? Like give people the freedom to shop their instructors, shop their studios,
Oh,
try a
yeah.
class, try 3 classes, learn the terminology, whatever it is. But we don't have to hold them in. Give them the space also to say, I don't like this. This isn't for me, and not be offended. Like obviously that's not your
Hmm.
vibe at all. But I think that it needs to be said. Like I like that phraseology of like take no prisoners. Like don't make people feel like I'm the only person on the planet that has a solution for you, and my brand of Pilates is the only one that's going to work for you, right?
Oh, definitely not. Definitely not. And all of my people, I share my teachers with them. I encourage them, to go. And it's funny because most of them are like, no, you're gonna teach, you'll let us know. But I don't keep it. It's no secret. I really don't like that feeling that sometimes you get from a teacher, like they're just giving you a little by little, or they don't.
Yes.
And I do understand as a teacher. I do and I don't. because
No,
I almost died. I won't say that to the end, right? So I don't have that massive heart attack. I don't want to save anything. I have nothing to save. I want to die. I want to give it all away. I don't want to say, oh my God, I wish I shared that, and my karate sensei now, my
yes.
sensei actually did die very young. He died at 42. And
Mm.
you live like that. You give it all away. I'm not trying to save it to make you keep coming back. You'll be with me as long as you be with me, as long as we're meant to be together. And
Yes.
then you'll go and someone else will come or not, or we'll stay
And
forever. But I'm not trying to
right,
hold on to this knowledge and, spoon, I don't know. Like I have something you don't have and you need me. I'm
right.
not into that.
Well,
I don't know.
that's a paradox that we see in personal training. Like when I working at big box gym, I used to be one of those, like the PT education guy. And so I used to say it all the time. There's this paradox in personal training where you you give them everything like they're not coming back, and then they come back anyways because you built such a rapport with them. So you
Right.
don't have to hold back. You don't have to be a gatekeeper of any kind of knowledge. You can equip them with everything so that they can be on their own, and they're probably still going to come back anyways.
Right, because they and the other piece is what you asked me, what have I been studying and learning since the last time we spoke, and I gave you the whole. So I keep on going. So every day I have people with me since I opened the studio. I'm here for 3 years now. Every day is different because I keep growing. So if you're the type of person that's not studying, and that means training and studying, and you're not evolving, then you don't have it, then you are going to run out.
Yes.
So, but it can never run out. You can come to me for the next 20, 50, I don't know, 50 years, let's be optimistic, 50
Right. Yeah.
years, and I'm never going to run out of information for you. I'm never going to run out of ideas. And
Right.
so you
Yeah.
can count on me
And
to do
then,
the work.
oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, yeah, you can count on me to do that work to keep on helping you reach the next level and grow to next level. And that's what I learned from my teachers. I've had some great teachers, and that's what they do.
Yes.
They didn't
Absolutely.
study 20 years ago and get a certification and stop. And
And
even
sit back on that.
boxing
Right.
trainers, yeah, even boxing trainers, they work with new guys. They're always thinking, they're always, and the ones that don't, guess what? They start losing. They had that moment and that's it. But
Yes.
if you keep on, you keep on. And what you're doing
There's something,
today isn't what
there's,
you did 5 years ago.
yeah, exactly. And there's something to be said for just that educating the way we educate our people so that they're always learning and they're looking for opportunities for them to learn as well beyond us, right? So I've been thinking about that. And something you said a minute ago, like the fact that your studio has no mirrors
Hmm.
is interesting. And my studio doesn't have any mirrors. And then I moved into this space which has mirrors, right? So now
Hmm.
I'm like in this space, and it's funny how I have to change my message, right? Because I was just like, okay, there's no mirrors. This is you be in tune with your body. And my clients are like, yes, no mirrors. I don't have to see my body. I don't have to see this roll. And they got into this negative headspace with it.
Hmm.
And then I moved into here, and then they're like, oh, there's mirrors, right?
Right, right.
And now the education is like, okay, let's set up for this exercise. We'll do one, and now look in the mirror and look at your alignment. Okay, now do it again. So like I'm now educating them to use the mirror as a tool in the
Yes.
same way they could use being able to be in tune with their body. So it moves from a negative self-image tool to being something that is aiding them in the movement. So I've had to like use that. So I just want to
Well,
hear
no,
your
I'm
thought.
gonna say no. I have so there weren't any mirrors, but now there is a
Okay,
6 by 12 mirror because I teach
okay,
karate. I teach karate also here at my
okay.
studio, and you do need it as a tool. And so I'm very clear about the distinction of relying on a mirror. So if we're doing something, saying, and we're looking at the mirror and we're relying on the mirror, and if I turn you around, you don't know it,
You're
or if you
lost.
can't see yourself, you're lost. And so I think it is a good tool. I remember training with Bob Leakins once, and there was like this slice of mirror, and he gave me a glance at myself. He's like, just look over, for a moment, just so you can see yourself, and that's the value, like of videotaping yourself and seeing yourself. So yeah, it's a tool, but it's not something that you rely on because again, we're trying to create that interoception, that that feeling. So we're always trying to create a feeling, but seeing the line helps you as long as you don't mistake the line for the thing. See, the people
Yes.
mistaking the shape that they're making for the thing that's happening inside. And
Right.
we don't really have that breakdown in karate because you have to apply what you're doing. But in Pilates, I think there is that breakdown where you can be mistaking the shape for actually what's supposed to be happening.
Yes.
And so, I agree. I agree, and that's a great shift that you made is not making it into an evil thing, but it's just another tool. So it's not bad or good. It just is. The mirror just is.
It
It's
just
how I
is.
use it. So,
Right.
a
Exactly.
knife isn't bad. It's bad if you stab someone, right?
Right.
It's good if you cut some bread. It's good.
Right, exactly, exactly.
Yeah.
So I'd love to hear from people in the chat, like, what's your thoughts on mirrors? And obviously now we've given
Carrie.
it, like, we've neutralized the mirror. So like, what was your thoughts on mirrors before we had this conversation? Because I know that for some people, like, the mirror is evil, and for some people, like, I don't care. I use it for a tool, right? And like you said, it is neutral. It is a thing, and so it just, I think that it is an interesting conversation. If you were building a new studio just for Pilates, would you have a mirror
Me
or not?
or this
Yes.
conversation?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I do have a mirror. I put up the mirror, and I was going to add an additional one because actually on the chair I teach a lot of chair, and on the chair it helps people a little bit not to be staring in the mirror, but to be able to glance over and see what's throwing them off balance. They don't have as much feedback, and so that little extra visual feedback is good. If you want to do the stick mobility, which I teach,
Hmm.
the mirror again, it's good. My karate, we don't stand in front of the mirror the whole time, but there are times when I say, "Come with me," so that they can see themselves and me at the same time.
Yes.
So I use it, and it's an effective tool. And then if I didn't want it, I can always put a curtain in front of it. So yes, I would have a mirror, not in front of the reformer. The reformer gives you enough information.
Yes.
I don't think you need one. I mean, maybe I wouldn't mind having a wheeling one where you could just be like, look at those knee stretches or stuff.
Right. Yeah. Right. Yeah.
But now we have cameras and phones and you can videotape real quick, like a golf coach, right?
Right. Exactly. Yeah.
Here's your swing.
Yep. Exactly. Or and honestly too, I use that sometimes if I'm making a video just to show some analysis on something that happened, and like I'm gonna send this to you just so you can look at how good you look doing this. Like the next time you're
Definitely.
feeling like you're in a funk or something, just like remember how strong you felt today.
Yeah,
Remember how the exercise you struggle with for weeks, you actually did well today.
right. And
You know what I mean?
and you're right about that. I have one of my favorite clients. I posted about him a few times. He comes 3 times a week for a year now, and he's amazing on the reformer. But I'm tough. I don't let you kind of sit on your laurels. I'm always And sometimes he feels like he said every time I get on the reformer, I feel like I take a step back. I'm like, brother, did you see your pictures? I mean, take that in as well. And so yeah,
Yes.
maybe that's nice for sometimes to show like look, they're up there and you're like, look at that. So but
Yep.
I use the
Exactly.
video and the camera for that. Yeah, it's nice to see. Yeah, see your progress, you know.
Yeah. Exactly.
Because
We're in the
sometimes
business
people
of
don't know where they
celebrating.
are in space. Yeah, and
Right.
even in a
Exactly.
good way.
Right.
They're always thinking that they're doing terrible. I'm like, no, you're killing it. That's why we're going up. That's why I'm getting more corrections because you're killing that already. So
Yes, exactly. That was fun. Just on a side conversation, like watching the coaches last night with my son's team, they were doing a shooting drill and he made them run. And he was just like, I'm not punishing you right now. I'm just giving this to you so that when you go back to your shooting, you're tired. And then you have to train in a different way.
hmm
Right. So there's a language that we use that helps people understand, okay, we could celebrate the fact that you got this exercise. You did it. Now let's add this other layer as opposed to, okay, it's not right yet, so let's do it like this instead, right? Like, I mean, there's always this, it's like the conversation we've been having like all week, Marianne, just around holding space. There's something to be said for understanding the person that's in front of us and how we navigate with our words, our cues, our actions, the next exercise, so that they feel like they're making movement, they're making progress.
Hmm. I very much make it a point in my teaching and in my studio to acknowledge that everyone is different. And you can see that by the diversity that I have here, that everybody is different. And, whether you want to use analogies like a Viking body and a contortionist body, these type of fashion terms, there's loose people, there's tight people. Everybody has a unique set of gifts and challenges. Nobody is wrong. Um, there's no right way. I I keep on just drilling that into people's heads. And just because I'll even joke, I'll say, look, this is easy for him and this is hard for him or her. And just let everybody know
Yes.
that
Yes.
they're okay, that you're okay. And also, there are people that are so hard, so many people are so hard on themselves. And so they don't need the
Yes.
brick, and some people need a brick and some people need a feather, and there's a combination of, people don't need to be beat up, people don't need to be made wrong, people need to be taught. I'm very firm. I hold a context, but how I approach each person is different.
Yes.
And I also let people know that's in your head.
For
You
sure.
know, yeah, that's in your head. I think you're awesome. That's why I'm
Yeah.
giving you. If I thought you sucked, I frankly I wouldn't waste my time giving you all these corrections because you won't get it.
Right.
I
Right.
try to I try to tell them the thing, like, if the teacher thinks that you're great, they're going to spend a lot of time giving you corrections because you're going to progress. If they thought you were
Right.
hopeless, they'd be like, "That's
Yep.
great, honey. Good job."
Mhm. Right. Exactly. Yeah. A little cute clap. Because yeah, exactly. So like I feel like I'm forever just trying to extract like the full potential out of people,
Yeah. That's our
right?
job. That's our job. And for them to experience themselves that way. Like
Yes.
for you to see how great I already know you are. For
Thank you.
you to for you to feel it. That's what I want. And when people feel that, they get it. You have to tell people. You're killing this. Look at you.
Hmm.
Look at you. 6 months ago, you couldn't do that. Look at you now. And because they don't
Yes.
acknowledge themselves. They're not used to a lifetime of study. They don't see their own progress.
Yep.
And
Yep.
yeah,
Well, you know
and
what,
that's fun.
Marianne? That's super fun. But you know what that made me think of it is how my
Mm.
kids respond to me when I give them compliments,
Hmm.
and their response is almost like, "But you're my dad. You're supposed to say I'm great." Like I mean, like so it's almost like as a teacher, our people can sometimes just dismiss us because like, well, that's your job to say I'm great. That's your job to say that I'm doing good. That's your job to encourage me. I come here for encouragement. So how authentic is it?
Hmm. Or
My son
how
said
do you
something.
land it? It's
Yes.
how do you land that? How do you
Right.
land that conversation where they're not dismissive, thinking either uh, and there are people that it's tough for them to let it in. There
Yes. Yeah.
are those people, and for them to just take a moment, and then maybe it's not so much in words. Maybe I just have them experience.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
Say I'll have two people do the same, and they're like, oh wow, look at me. Have them
Yes.
experience that. Oh wow, look at me. I'm killing
Yes.
it. Because
Yes.
yeah, maybe they're just not going to hear it from you, and then they
Right.
have that
I've
experience
I've had them bring
themselves.
a friend in too. Right.
Yeah. Yeah, give them something that's really tough maybe for everyone else. Just find a way for them to have that
Yeah.
experience.
Just feed them. Yeah.
And they do, and they're like, oh wow, uh, that's cool.
Mhm.
I didn't know I was so
Yeah. So
cool.
exactly. So that's and so yeah. Exactly. We got a bit of delay there. Do you see that?
No,
Did you catch
I
that?
don't. No, but
Yeah.
they will let you know if you don't praise them. Not really.
Yeah.
Not really.
Yeah.
My
Sometimes.
clients are pretty tough on themselves. My people are very tough on themselves. I have a lot of
Yeah.
those
Yeah.
people.
Well, yeah. We draw like we attract certain people, right? We attract certain
Hmm.
populations and you know like my client was asking me this morning about, a certain population of people who come in. I'm like, no one on my roster is like that. Like, it seems like everyone I have is pretty motivated and pretty self-driven. Like, not, I don't really have
Yeah.
anyone who comes in here that's like, I
Yeah,
used
I
to
don't
call them
have
like
anyone
four-figure
like what
people,
he
right?
just said. What he
You know?
just said, I don't have anyone
Yeah,
like that. Nobody.
yeah, yeah,
They're not looking for that at all. Like
yeah,
praise.
exactly.
As it's hard for me to get them to hear it actually, to hear it and
Right, yeah,
experience it. So I don't have that at all.
yeah. Question for you.
Hmm.
Okay, so how, business wise, how are things going and what's next for you? So like, that question of what have you done since the quarantine? How did you pivot? How has it been for you, and like what's happening with your business now, and what's 22 looking like?
So amazing. I mean, we're here in Florida. We really didn't suffer too much. So,
Right.
my heart really does go out for people that were shut down for a long time and went through a lot of things. But here in Florida, we were only shut for a few weeks, um, and it's just been nothing but amazing. I think that my business model isn't exactly what I've seen or what I learned or what I took from my program. I have my own idea. I want people to train a lot. I think that I approach it again like my boxing, like my martial arts. Like I train every day. I want people that train every day or every other day.
Mm,
Um, 80% of my people train at least every other day. So I found a way that I could make enough money and make it financially feasible for regular people to train
yeah.
Pilates 3 to 5 times a week. And I have my private clients. I'm expanding actually. I'm just getting new equipment ordered from Legacy. They're shipping it, I think, today.
Amazing.
So, yeah, I have right now only up to 5 in a class. I'm adding a spot to each class, so there'll be 6. So that's a way of
Mm,
me increasing my income without really changing much and keeping the
yes.
prices pretty. I've raised my prices a little. I
Hmm.
realized that, it was COVID and all that, but just enough.
Yep.
And I'm pretty booked. I'm pretty booked. I don't advertise. I don't have any marketing. I don't do anything, and I'm working 35 to 45 hours a week. I'm open 6 days, and I'm not looking to add teachers at all.
Okay.
Um, if there ever is a teacher, it's going to be someone that grows out of me, my
Yes.
student. I would never add another teacher. I can have independent contractors here. I do have a lady. She has her own students. She
Hmm.
comes. She just pays a rent, but she's not part of this Blaze Pilates. This
Yeah.
is my thing. This is how I teach. Um, I have a very unique way of teaching, and I'm not interested in having other people come here from other programs. All I see is people having a lot of problems when they do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Because you're
I'm not looking
unlearning
at
to
that.
learn, right? Like it's like teaching them a new golf swing sometimes. So
Yeah, they may look at it like I've trained with so many different trainers. Again, just take boxing for instance, and they all have their own way of doing it. They're all
mhm.
doing the same thing, but and they don't put each other down so much, but their way is their way, and they're like, oh, we're not doing it like that. So, and if you're going to train with them, you do it their way. And I'm just not interested in growing my business like that. 2022, I don't know. I don't even know if I want to grow Pilates anymore. I'm looking to investing. I'm 55. I'm looking toward, retiring. I'm not looking toward
Yes.
building a huge empire of Pilates. Maybe if I was 35, I would go in another direction, big gym, stick
Yeah.
mobility, adding all this stuff. And
Yes.
I'm
Yeah.
good. I'm good. This if I max this out, this is good for me. I don't want to do any more Pilates. That'd be enough,
Right.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
No,
Is
that's
that?
no, that's great. I wanted people just to hear your business model too, right? And the way that you're doing it.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
That
okay, you
gives
want me to
people
go expand on it
permission.
a
You know what I'm
little?
saying? Like to
Mm-hmm.
Sure, yeah, yeah. Because I mean, like, I love that. I love the fact that it does
Mm-hmm.
give people permission to say, okay, I don't have to do it just this way. I like
Right.
the way she's doing it, or I like the way he's doing it. I like the, you know what I mean? So yeah, so please, yeah, expand
Yeah,
that,
so
share it. Like, I'd
well,
love
some
to hear
some
it.
ideas. Yeah, some ideas that I had, again, I realized that the more people train, the more that they're going to love Pilates. That's a thing that people don't uh, understand and take advantage of because all my other things I did, we always did it every day. Like
Yes.
you went every day. And so I realized that if people train in Pilates at least 3 times a week, that they will come back all the time because they're going to be
Yeah.
feeling great. And so I don't sell class packages. I don't sell class packs like people do 10 pack. I don't do that. I have
Hmm.
monthly passes. You don't have to
Okay.
sign any type of contract, but you're basically committing to these 8, 12, 16 unlimited classes per month, and they
Yep.
expire. And
Yes.
so then, in other words, I'm just encouraging you in a nice way that if you said you're going to train 3 times a week, you're going to train 3 times a week, or you're going to lose it.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
that's just
Right.
my nice way of supporting you in your commitment.
Right.
So I'm having you meet me, right? You're going to make a commitment, and I'm going to support you by not having. No, you don't. I don't sell class packages. You can pay, and I discount my passes like a lot. So you can pay
Mm.
this much per class, but if you commit, you're going to get 35% off. So
Yes.
I'm just encouraging their commitment. And then
Yes.
my personal training clients are different. They're already committed usually. You know, people that hire
Yes.
you
Exactly.
for privates, they're busy people usually, and they're like, I'm training 2 or 3 times a week. These are my, so that's a
Understood.
different thing.
Yep.
But yeah, and I just make people fall in love with Pilates and fall in love with feeling good.
Nice.
And and I also have a package that I do 1 private and 2 classes a week.
Yes.
So I call my platinum package, and I really encourage people to do that, especially if they're new.
Yep.
Um, so we have that time, and then here, go practice the stuff we work on. And those
Yes.
people really become my core
Yeah.
students.
Right. They.
These are people that they could, if I was absent, they would teach the class. You
Right.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're looking for that type of understanding.
Right.
Hmm.
Your ambassadors.
Yeah.
Yeah. Make people fall in love with Pilates, and
Or
that's true.
feeling good, basically. I mean, not even
Yeah.
Pilates so much. Feeling good, martial arts, all of it. Make people fall in love with taking care of themselves. Make people fall in love with moving. Fall in love
Right.
with healthy life living. Fall in
So
love with the context of health.
right. So it's almost like you just want them to just fall in love with coming to Blaze Pilates. Like, I mean, you want this to be another home for them where they can
It
come and move how
is.
they want
This
to,
is a
right?
dojo. I say to people all the time, I don't teach Pilates like I learn in my program. I teach Pilates how I learned to teach karate. From 12 years
Right.
old, they taught us how to teach. Each one teach one. The next person comes in. When new people come in, I introduce them. The older students, I kind of give them some responsibility, like, hey, help this person. I build a community. We are a community.
Yes.
People come here. If you're coming 3 to 5 times a
Amazing.
week, 3 to 5 times a week, it's more of a dojo, a gym, like an atmosphere like that where, yeah, they all know each other. I don't know if you
Yes.
see these Wednesday night classes I have. This is even
Hmm.
more fun where they're just kind of freestyling and my favorite part is to sit back and watch them help each other. That's my favorite part. These are not
Yes.
people in a
You are
program.
winning. Right.
Huh?
Right.
Oh, yeah.
You're just awesome.
So,
Yeah.
uh, it's I don't know, it seems like that's what they like it anyway. Works for me. I don't know.
I
I
love
don't know.
that. Yeah.
Maybe
But
it's just true for me. I'm not trying to do something. I'm not trying to do something. I'm like, I love this. I love Pilates. I love training. I love working out. I love studying. I have a whole section of books. I let people
yep.
check books out. Um, you want more,
Yes.
and some people like information. Here you go.
Yes.
It's for me.
That's awesome. I hope everyone who's watching this, I hope that you hear not just like, okay, let me just take the blueprint that Marianne's running, but like run with your blueprint. Run with what gives you joy and what makes you excited, and think about the people that you have and what the people in your community would thrive under, right? Like I'm hearing you say that, and I have in my head my version of doing what you just said, and it's similar but different. And I'm like, I love like Harry saying like you're so awesome, your passion transfers to your students. Like there's a
I
way
love
that
her.
we all can do that. Yeah, she's so awesome.
She's so great.
So yeah, so I hope that for everyone who's listening, you just like hear that because I think that is amazing what you're building, the community that you're building. I'm sure if I was to bring on anyone, interview anybody who is a member of your community, they would say, "This is my home. These are my people."
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
We're
Like,
having a party Saturday. We're having a party Saturday. I mean, you know, yeah, I mean, yes, they hang out with each other. So they
that's
came
it. Yes.
here. Yeah, these are their friends. This is what they do. Pilates is kind of their way of life a little bit. It's not just something that they do for an hour a week and forgot about. These
Yes.
are, yeah, these are like-minded people.
Yes.
And so they do end up having a lot in common, and they do end up hanging out together. And they're interested in that. They're interested in connection. I guess that's what,
Yes.
um, maybe that's why they're drawn to me as a teacher, because that's what I'm interested in, is
Yes.
connecting with people. And
Right.
uh,
Well, a community is addictive. Like I always say that. Like, and and if you create that community, people, it's easy to leave a contract, but it's hard to leave a friend, right? Like, so if people like they're signing a contract, so to speak, if they're committing to classes, but then they fall in love with the people that are there, and then they like what you're doing, and then all these different things are happening, they're now being drawn into this community where they feel that they belong. It's really tough to leave that community. Like you don't want to leave that.
true, and that can get people through their tough times because
Yes.
of life pulling them this way and that way.
Hmm.
When they would, maybe if it was just going to the gym and getting on the treadmill, they would be, but they're
Right.
like, oh, I'm gonna get to go to Pilates. I'll talk to my girl. I'll talk to my friend. I'll talk to my
Yes.
guy, and it actually is something they look forward to help them get through those hard times, as opposed to another thing to do. So
Yes.
it's not another thing to do. It's a place to come be, again, seen and heard, cared
Yes.
about, connected with. And so, yes, it becomes I think and it was built, when they say those babies, when you come out of something, like COVID. I mean, I started this in January, and
Yes.
then it was March. And so this was kind of a baby of COVID. And so all of the people,
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah.
I said I was living in my Pilates bubble. This was the only thing people were doing, you
Hmm.
know? They were
Yeah.
just coming here and go home. So,
Yes. That's so funny because, like, I mean, we're 10:57. We gotta end this real soon. But I just want to say this to everyone and to you. I love what you're doing because, like, you can take a course talking about training and learning and stuff on business systems and how to grow your business and how to make a referral-based business, or you could just love on people and make a community that they are addicted to being in part of. And then you
yeah.
layer in
It,
your learning and then your commitment to learn and your commitment to them, and then they're seeing results on top of the fact that they like being there, so they're getting the best of both worlds. That's so awesome.
yeah. And it's really, don't make it hard, and that's my message in life to people. And if it's hard and you feel like you're having to put that much effort, that's not it.
That's not
Keep
it.
looking, keep digging, right? Even in Pilates, if it feels hard, if you're sweating that much, that's not it. It's floating. Look for the float. Right? Well, I mean, in life, if it feels,
Yes.
if a relationship feels like it's a lot of effort, if anything does, maybe that's not it. Maybe you're forcing it, or maybe you're doing too little, too much. I'm not
Mhm.
sure, but there's a place of floating in
Love it.
everything, I think.
Yeah. Wow, I could just like keep talking about
I
this
know we
forever.
didn't even get we didn't even get to Voxy talking.
I know. That's
Just
okay.
kidding.
Well,
It goes
yeah,
so
like
fast. Yeah, it goes fast.
yeah. Yeah. Isn't it so funny? Like, I mean, like, there was a time when I was like, okay, I don't know if I can stretch this for an hour, and people are concerned about that. And then we just get talking, and like, yeah, there was so many things I wanted to talk about, right? Like,
I
even
know
though,
we just said yeah, just not even we didn't even get to stick mobility or the fascia fitness or fascia and how all that and huh.
that's all right. Next time,
We just talk about people. That's and connecting. So
right?
that's the message, I guess.
Then I think, yeah, that's exactly that is
Well,
the
you're having all
message.
these conversations, right?
Yeah.
connecting us all. I met so many great people through your platform and just through this whole being on social media so much more with COVID, and it's been wonderful. You know, the learning, the team, the community, everything. You know, the feedback.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, oh no, it's been rich. I've really enjoyed just getting to know you and just I'm just inspired by the way that you're doing life with your people there. Like it's awesome.
Thank,
It really is
thank,
good. It's
thank
good.
you.
All right. Okay, so I'm gonna end this conversation, but not end our conversation as always. We'll continue
I
to
know.
talk.
I'm so glad. I know it's been, you know, I always go back and I do check out a lot of the conversations, but yeah, this time is usually busy, but luckily we had a moment to chat.
Yeah,
Meant
yeah,
to
no,
be.
absolutely. I really appreciate it so much
Yeah,
so.
I do too. I do too. Thank you.
Thank you. Last comment here was from Carrie. You are guiding and facilitating and creating a space. I've been
Aw,
so incredible to listen to you talk about your business. Marianne, you really are a gift.
aw. She's a wonderful teacher, by the way, if you guys. She's so opposite from me, and yet so, right?
Yeah.
She's micro movements, doesn't teach men, and but her work is amazing, amazing, and I had a great time training with her.
Yes. Thank you so much. Yeah, Carrie is awesome. And Marianne, thank you so much again for today.
All
We're going
right,
to sign off. And yes, and we'll keep it going. So thank you, everybody. And we'll see you again
see you
tomorrow.
soon. See you
All right.
soon.
See ya.
Bye.